Hi guys, I'm Lee from Inclusive English, and today what I'd like to talk about is the multisensory approach to learning. There's a quote, one of my favourite quotes, and that is, if a child is not learning in the way you teach, then change the way you teach into the way that the child learns. And this is essentially what the multisensory approach is. It integrates visual, auditory, tactile and kinesthetic movement learning elements. These different teaching methods, they activate different parts of the brain, and a multisensory approach can enhance memory and the ability to learn. And they can also involve taste, smell, touch, hearing, sight, everything. Because the way we learn is through multiple pathways, and this multisensory approach allows us to access these different senses. All children learn in different ways, and to be successful, we need to have a learning experience that meets these needs. Each child's brain is different, so the way they learn is also different. Using all of these different senses allows the child to be much more engaged with the material. So for example, you don't need to involve every single sense in every single lesson, but as many as possible. So for example, if you're teaching a lesson about food, take some food, some real food, different smells, different tastes, different textures. Have the child help you cook something, cut something. Involving the child in using as many senses as possible really improves the learning process. Instead of the child learning through just one singular medium, like a textbook, for example, the students are much more involved in the lesson. It's very hands-on. It helps the child's ability to collect and remember information and to make connections with information that they already have, and how that connects with the new information. Ultimately, using a multisensory approach in a learning environment helps to meet the varying needs that children have. And by targeting all of these different senses in different styles, it gives every child a chance to succeed. Now, the multisensory approach is beneficial for all children, but especially for children with any kind of special educational needs. Or children that learn in a different way, think in a different way. One element as well that's involved in a multisensory approach is it's fun. It's something that's overlooked a lot these days, and that is how much fun the child is having during the learning process. If the children are engaged, involved and having fun, the learning process, the acquisition of knowledge happens much more naturally and without any resistance from the child. Ultimately, a multisensory approach to learning is an approach that involves as many senses as you can, which means that maybe one child learns much better with visual information, where another, if they're involved in moving their body or what they hear, then that means that both of those children with very different learning styles, very different approaches to learning, can both benefit from the same class. So the idea is for the children to have fun, for the children to be actively involved in the lesson, and for us to be providing information in as many different ways and through using as many different senses as possible. That's it. That's the multisensory approach. So if you have any questions on this at all, please feel free to get in touch with us.